Hello, hello, hello. This is HQ in the house. We are back at it again doing a reaction video of a young man and his family living out of a truck. He's a flatbedder. So we're going to listen to the family, him tell the tale, and see if we can figure out some things about what's going on with this family. What's going on with this family? Okay. So we will get right down to it.
Oh man, I did not see this coming. Uh, I've been living on the truck with my wife for. Is it too hot? Too hot? It's good. Okay. I've been living on the truck with my wife for about a year now. My wife and my two kids. I don't know if you saw my daughter just walk behind me. Um, this morning we had a big falling out about some stupid shit. I don't even want to explain to y'all how dumb it was because that'll just make us both look like idiots. But it led to me and my wife getting into it. Uh, uh, she decided to leave. Um, she's Nigerian. I don't know if she understands the ways that this America world works or what is necessary to raise kids out here. Um, I've been doing the best I can. I'm a flatbedder. I work 6 days a week, and if anybody knows about trucking, it's flatbedding. It's hard to work 6 days a week. You work five easy. Um, I work all the time. Trying to get our money up. I just spent $9,000 on this truck about a month ago to make sure that we don't go down. Because if this truck go down, everybody suffers. Um, we just got, we just found housing that we're gonna be moving in June 1st, but now that's not gonna happen.
See, I have to question. I'm gonna have to question these life choices before we got to this point, right? We gotta question these, and you put your life on the internet, so I'm assuming you wanted us to critique you, right? First off, you're in the truck with two small children. That's already a no-no. You're in close proximity with your wife every day, right up under each other. That's another no-no. Two, the children need structure. They need somewhere to run and play. They need somewhere to stretch out, just as you and your wife do. You also need privacy, just as you and your wife does. You need a place to sleep that's comfortable. You have to drive many hours of the day, work 6 days a week. There's no way you can be worried about a family and do that kind of work every day, all day, which is what you're doing every day, all day, looking a wife in the eyeball. Now, where is you all's housing? That's the question. Why don't you have housing? Now, that would suggest to me that you all have monetary problems. Now, does the wife work? And what kind of work does she do? Or is she one of those women where you don't want her to work and then you just want to be poor? Because if you're not making enough money for you all to be living in a house, then you're too poor to have a stay-at-home wife. I get it. She's Nigerian, but that's not gonna work. You're always gonna be in this position. You're always gonna be 5 minutes away from broke. If you don't get out of that truck, and if she doesn't get a job to help you out. It is what it is. You have to figure out how you guys are going to get her to work so that you guys can make enough money to do what you need to do to survive. You cannot afford a stay-at-home wife. I thought you men understood that you cannot afford a stay-at-home wife these days. 2025 does not allow you to do that.
Oh man, me and my wife have not had the best relationship, but lately, the last three, I could say last 3 months on this truck, I've really turned my life around. I stopped doing any extra recreational substances. Uh, don't drink. Started working out. Started having extending my wife more patience with myself and not blowing up about things that I should blow up about, but just like looking at it like if it don't kill me, you know what, just let it roll off your back. She's not in the most ideal situation as a woman. Try to look at those things. Um, but I do require a lot from my spouse because, or my partner. I don't care if you're my girlfriend. I require a lot from you.
Wait a minute, hold up. Let's back up. We need to go back a couple steps. We need to go back a couple steps. First off, what was this about you requiring what from your partner? Wait a minute. You as the man, as the leader, supposed leader, and you who require a lot from your partner. You require a lot from your partner, and yet and still you are a person who does recreational drugs, drink. I wonder how that goes over in the middle of the night when she's looking at you and you're smoking pot, crack, whatever, whatever. And yet we live in a truck. Past 3 months, you've cleaned up your act. But if you haven't went to rehab, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. And I bet you this is the problem that is contributing to you not having a place to stay, not having a. Sir, there's things that you need to get together, and you got a young wife, and you're dragging the young wife and children into the mess. It's a disaster already.
Because I give a lot, regardless of our situation. Own my own truck, own my own company. Okay, buddy. Okay. And uh, man, I work hard. I mean, you'll see in the future. I'm gonna be tuning in with y'all on a regular basis now. Um, uh, I'm a very hard worker, uh, and I'm doing everything I can to keep my family together and keep my kids with me. Uh, I have a very high. I can't even say it's anxiety. There's no word created for it. I am terrified. Damn boy. Damn boy. Who you smiling at? You fat ass. Yeah, dad. Yeah, I know. Ah, yeah, dude. You fat boy. Jesus. Um, I'm a very hard worker, and I. Okay, your food is coming, Stink. See my daughter. She waiting on hers. I had to give her a little snack. I'm about to make her some oatmeal. Um, I'm a very hard worker, and I just man, this is hard for me. Uh, uh, this is hard. I was molested when I was younger. It didn't happen on an ongoing basis. I was molested by both sexes in two different situations in two different households. Um, and I thought that I had made peace with that. All my life growing up, it really didn't bother me. I really didn't think about it when people would bring up the fact that they were molested. I would have great empathy for them, not thinking about my own, but just being a good person and like feeling bad. Oh my God, that should never happen. And I had to think like, oh man, you were molested too, um, and but that's how much out of my head that it was. It wasn't until I had my daughter in the hospital, um, that my anxiety for kids' safety and protection, it came roaring back out of nowhere. It was like, I guess, unhealed trauma. I guess you would want to say, or you don't really ever get over anything like that. But I don't trust my kids. When I say anywhere without me. So the fact that we got on hard financial times and had to start living in my truck 24/7, it was bittersweet. It was very bitter. But the sweet part was I get to be with my kids 24/7 and make money while I'm doing it. Um, that part, I haven't missed my kids. Any milestones, any laughs, any jokes, any funny thing that they do, I've seen every bit of it.
Yeah, but they've seen every bit of you drinking and drugging, if that's the case, including your wife. Who knows? We're on financial hard times because things you have done. I'm assuming she doesn't have a job. I'm assuming she doesn't have a job, don't want to have a job. Okay, so look, some of y'all gonna be poor all your life, and you like that. It is what it is. Because otherwise, your wife would have a job. She'd be looking for a job, have a job, doing her thing. People say, oh, child care, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't want to hear that because single mothers do it every day. But you don't get to say something about, I didn't face my kid trauma or my childhood trauma after you said, I've been using and drinking. Cause now we in the what is that, victim Olympics territory, and I hate that. Okay, accountability has got to be in the front seat. Got to be.
And I feel rich in that sense, despite what we're currently going in. Me and my wife got into it this morning, and she decided that she can't take it anymore. Um, and I'm not going to go into detail right now about what happened because I still have to talk to certain people and find out what's what. Um, but uh, she decided to leave and that she's going to go live in Texas. Um, and then she says she's taking the kids with her, which she knows is not happening. But I guess to her argument, the boy is breastfeeding. I just made him a bottle. Um, as you can see, he's fine. Don't you look fine? Don't you look fine, boy? Don't you look fine? Yeah, you fine. Yeah, you fine. Yeah, yeah, that. That's right. That's right. And she said, "Can she's taking the kids with her?" I said, "No, you're crazy. You're not. You already know how I am." And then she texted me back, "Well, at least let me have Malik." The fact that a woman is so willing to break up her household over nonsense when they know they're in the wrong. Women, you know how you get mad and you get emotional, and instead of thinking with logic, you choose to see the situation from an emotional standpoint and how you felt in the moment. But then when you come down, you know how many ladies have y'all calm down later and be like, you know what, I was wrong.
See, and this is the delusion piece. This is where the title comes in. Sir, you have me living in a truck with two children who don't belong in a truck. You cannot raise them in a truck. You have a drinking and alcohol and a drug problem. You have these issues on top of the fact that you don't make enough money to support the family. What do you mean? What do you mean? You don't get to dictate anything other than when you can see the children. I'm not taking the children from you. We need a place to stay. The children need to get out of a truck. If you loved us enough, you would get us out of a truck. But you're not getting us out of a truck. You're still in the truck. What do you mean?
He was right, but instead of going back and telling him that he was right or having accountability for my actions, I'm not gonna let nobody know I'm wrong. I'm just gonna live in that or whatever. Please stop that. Please stop that. Um, oh man, it's so crazy. I can't believe this is going on. So she texted me back and said she wants her son. She's breastfeeding. She's very close to her son. She don't feel loved by me, but her boy is all their relationship is something different. I will admit. So I can see it and say it because I know where they're going and I trust the environment that I'm gonna let him go on this plane and take my son to fucking Texas, keeping my daughter. Um, I'm a truck driver, so I will be out there to go see my boy. I will be looking for every load to Texas back and forth that you can think of. Um, this hurts. It probably hadn't settled in all the way. I am an emotional person. I'll probably break down later. Um,
My question is, why won't you let her take the children out of the truck and go to Texas with the children? Why won't you let her take the children out of the truck and you fight for custody? Not right there, not to try to hurt her, because I'm sure you've hurt her just like she's hurt you, but you've hurt her too. And this, by us living in a truck, us not having resources, us not having money, us not having anywhere to go, me not having a job, this might have been your decision to do all these things. And if this is your decision, this is the outcome that it would have concluded to be. And if you were, if you cared about us, we would have both the children together in where we need to be and outside of the truck.
I'm here getting loaded right now because the money can't stop, regardless of how I feel. Regardless of how I feel, I still have to pay bills. Hell, even for her, this motherfucker ain't working. So I know I'm gonna have to send her funds and whatnot. Um, Women, you should work. Men as well. Both parties. Once you have kids, you should do everything in your power to keep that household and keep them.
Please don't tell me you on some silly ish and you didn't know that you needed to work. This is 2025. We are going into a recession. Every person on this planet needs to work if they can work. Every person on this planet. And you specifically are living in a truck with two kids and her. She needs to work. She needs to get out of the truck. So send the kids with her so that she'll have some money to take care or help the kid with the kids, and you can make as much money as you can. But I believe that you said you were out here doing recreational drugs, out here drinking, doing all those good things. So you have to take accountability for some things that went wrong in your marriage too. You just
Them kids together. We see so often how bad when girls grow up without their father and boys grow up without their father, they act out. The boys end up in jail, prison, hanging with the wrong crowd. The girl gets promiscuous, brings in babies, has a low standard from the men that they deal with because they're kind of fulfill a daddy's role, and then whoever will step in that picture and play daddy. Yeah, yeah, y'all know women know what I'm talking about. Um, and my kids are not going to go through that. So even though we might be separated and probably going to end up divorced, because this situation should have never really been. The kids is the only thing that we had positive out of our situation. Other than that, this is definitely not somebody I was equally yoked with or should have been with ever. Um, and this morning was the final straw for I think both of us. The fact that she would leave and want to go is is very telling because I've been doing a lot of work on myself, and even her said it just a couple of days ago how much she's in love with me.
so she said she was in love with you. Then why is it over? What's going on that you all would break up your family because of this? This is part one. Get ready for part two.